Donnie just took another trade and took about another $30. So thank you, my friend.
Let's
I love it.
go.
I love it. I love it. I see we have Emma in the DMV, Donna in the STL. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the time has now come for me to step out of the way of greatness. The gentleman I have the honor and privilege of introducing to you, he's a family man. He's a military veteran and he's been a successful entrepreneur for over 25 years. He is the author of Standing on the Shoulders of Multi-Million Dollar Producing Giants, excuse me. He's earned millions of dollars in not one, not two, but three different industries. And this is the fourth industry that he is going to earn multiple millions of dollars. And he actually came out of retirement to be here with us in this company because that's how big the vision is that he saw. Not only has he done pretty well for himself, but he's always done what's best for his people, put them first, and help them to make a lot of money as well. His goal is to help 10,000 families generate $5,000 per month in residual recurring income over the next 2 to 5 years. And I have no doubt that he is going to absolutely blow that goal out of the water. What I love most about this gentleman is he's the definition of integrity and character. He's one of the only people that's ever been and done every single thing he ever committed to me that he would be or do. So, ladies and gentlemen, give me some hearts, give me some fire, give me some love in the chat. Please help me welcome to the line someone I'm honored to call my coach, my mentor, and my friend, the VP of Sales himself, Mr. Sam Bean.
What's going on, Carly? How we doing? How we doing?
Awesome, sir. How are you?
Fantastic, super fantastic, actually. And I really appreciate you setting us up, teeing us up, so we can get in here and kick this night off, like in grand fashion. And guys, again, make sure give Carly some stars. Show us some love, put some ones in there, some stars in there, some fire in there, whatever you want to do. Because again, she's the hostess with the mostest. She's showing you guys how you transition, right, from the leader to the introduction. She's showing you guys why and how to create value and why a person should actually pay attention to the person who's coming up next. So, with that being said, I'm excited about, again, just this event that we have here today, guys. When I say we, and I do want to start off with we, as always, want to make sure that I give props and credit, to the people who put this platform together. Obviously, you have the CEO himself, Mr. Winston Navarro, and Mrs. Christina Navarro. You talking about just wonderful people, and they gave the president and partner, JC Rangel, El Presidente, right, Senor Presidente, a call saying, "Hey man, look, I don't know if he was serious or not, but let's go ahead and get this thing started." And him and Jennifer came on board and as partners, but they said, "Hey, we can't do it without the Pachecos," and so they called up Daniel and Carla. And again, you're talking about three power couples. Put this thing together for us all to have this opportunity. And like Carly said, I came out of retirement, and I didn't do it for kibbles and bits. I didn't do it, to work with people that I didn't like or respect. I did it because I saw vision in this company. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, 2 years ago, it looked a lot different than it looks today. And um, when you're loyal to your visions, guys, you shall be rewarded, right? And I just want to make sure you guys write this down before we get started, right? Um, don't let what you see get in the way of what you saw. Okay? Write that down. Because again, um, some of you got started in this company for a reason, right? You saw something. You saw six figures, you saw seven figures, you saw some extra income, you saw private school for your kids. You saw opportunity to fire your boss, or fire your spouse's boss, whatever it was that you saw. Okay, make sure you continue to see that, even when you see other things that may attempt to deter you from your goals and your dreams. So again, don't let what you see currently, right? Hard times, bad times, challenges, whatever it is, get in the way of what you saw when you first, signed your name on the dotted line. Okay. And so always stay true to your goals. Okay. So when you look at, tonight, guys, we're gonna talk about, the Millionaire Mentorship call, and it's obvious we want to make sure that you guys understand this is a place where you come and get, not just seven-figure language, a seven-figure understanding. This is where you put yourself in a position where you now are a human becoming, right? Not a human being. You have been a human being, your whole entire life. Now it's like it's time for you to take charge of your life, shift gears, and become a human becoming. Right. We talk about a human becoming a seven-figure individual. Okay. The late great Jim Rohn, one of my favorite mentors, he said it best. He said, don't become a millionaire because of the money that you earn. Become a millionaire because of the person who you have to become in order for that to happen. Right? The bank account won't change unless you change. You have to evolve. The only way you get seven figures in your bank account without actually deserving it is by robbing somebody, doing something illegal, right, or hitting the lottery. All right. And so, that seven-figure journey, okay, it will develop you into someone that you can appreciate, someone who you can admire, and someone that other people will look up to, right? And so, uh, so tonight, I want to highlight some things, guys. I want to put some things in place and put some things in perspective. And I'll pull up these old slides here because, when you look at the want and the desire, a lot of people have the want and desire to do something amazing, do something big, to help a whole lot of people out, but they don't have the wherewithal. They don't have the ability. They don't have the platform, right? And they don't have the right tools and things. And I'm just telling you, that was us as a company at some point in time, right? We had solar, but that didn't fit everybody. Then we had water, that didn't fit everybody. Okay, we had other things that came and went, that didn't fit everybody. Yes, and then we had, 199 package, and guess what? It's not a lot of people getting rich off 199 packages, right? And so you're looking at the company right now as it's evolving, right? Companies brought on traders. And man, we have some of the best traders in the world. And I'm just talking about, just people who you combine a high level skill set with, master traders with a high level of just being a great human being, a great person, right? That's a beautiful situation. And then we have the packages. They've upgraded the packages, guys. One time about 199, 499, 999, right? Every time I made six figures, in a very, very short period of time, and then seven figures over time, it was always in companies that had big packages. And I want to let you guys know that the company is doing this thing, is doing its part. It's not perfect, and it's never going to be perfect. I want to be the first one to tell you that, because it's run by human beings. That's one. Two, it's always going to be in a situation where it's got to continue to evolve with the times. So times are going to change, guidelines are going to change, right? Things are going to change that are going to give us some challenges. Okay? And that's fine. We expect them. It's not if they come, it's when they come, and we're okay when they come. We'll be ready. But you have to be ready. All right. So when you look at all the things that are happening right now, you look at all the things that you have at your disposal, okay, and you say, man, I have this subscription-based model where I put a couple people in business, and those couple people can become a really nice four-figure income a week or a day. Okay. Think about that for a second. You wake up one day, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, and you're making $5 grand a day, $150,000 a month. Okay. What kind of lifestyle would you be living at that point in time? What type of, things would you be doing with your days? How much different would your days be? Okay. $10,000 a day. Okay. $15,000 a day. Like, anything, guys, remember, if you can do the math on it, this compensation plan can create it. Okay. But you just got to be able to do the work. And that's the most important thing, guys. You are right now in the right place at the right time in a company that has, a lot of the right things in place. As comprised, a person can come in off the streets and before the end of the year, build a seven-figure community or network. Okay. And that's what you want. You want to be able to tell a person wholeheartedly, this is what we have, and this is what you can actually get a chance to take advantage of. And so, with that being said, let's just go through a couple of these slides real quick here. And I want you guys to just take a look at some of the stuff here that we put together for you. But $1 million question, guys, this $1 million question, and let me get rid of this box here because I want to make sure that I can read everything without any type of interruptions. Okay. But as an entrepreneur, and this is the $1 million question, as an entrepreneur, where does your floor begin and your cap end? Okay. So you have a lot of people who they have a job because they have a floor, and they have a job because they have a ceiling. They have a job because they have minimal, like a base income. Like if they go to work, they're going to clock in, clock out. They know for a fact that that's what they're going to make, right? And then they also know for a fact that regardless of how long they work, how hard they work, they have a ceiling. They're going to max out, and that's pretty much the challenge with it all. Okay, anytime you go to sleep, guys, knowing how much you're going to make, okay, by the end of the year. Okay? By the end of the next 2 years, 3 years, if you keep that same job, that's a problem. That's a person who is a walking, living, breathing generality. That's a person who is now settled in life, and they don't want anything other than what they have. And if that's you, and that you're okay with that, that's fine. But again, this is a seven-figure situation. This is a seven-figure conversation. This is a mindset thing. This is not for normal, average, everyday people. So if any of this offends you guys talking about money, talking about evolving, this may not be the call for you. Okay. And guess what? If this is not you today, who's to say it won't be you tomorrow? Hang around, just listen to the information. And you might wake up one day and say, I want to make $1 million. Okay. And you won't be starting from scratch because you'll be plugging in. Okay. A lot of this information, when you hear Mr. Pacheco on this call, when you hear JC Rangill on this call, when you hear some of the other key leaders on this call, guys, a lot of this information, if you're paying attention to it, okay, can help you in everything that you do already in life, in any endeavor, any employment, any kind of business that you have. This is only going to give you, the unfair advantage. It's going to give you a slight edge over the people who you're competing against in your markets. This is, again, it's about the seven-figure mindset. It's about the seven-figure mentality. It's about you having, the edge, the head start on the market. Okay? Even if you don't make a seven-figure income here, if you own a company, what if you made a seven-figure income in your insurance agency, in your real estate company, right? In your investment firm, in whatever it is that you do, your online business. What if you took what you learned here, guys? If all you got for $199 a month was $4 million millionaire mentorship conversations that pour into you every week on Monday, every like, without fail, and you just become richer in what you do, not what we do. Is that still a good value for you? Okay. Because that's what it's all about. It's about value. It's about you showing up because it's something to show up for. But as an entrepreneur, where does your floor begin? Where's your cap end? And most of you have already read this. All my forward-thinking people and all my people who, you know, uh, you're gonna make sure you read everything on the screen. That's fine. But your people will build remember, your people will build based on the cap or limitations that you put on them, right? Some of you looking at your team saying, man, they're not making enough money. They're not creating enough volume. You got to ask yourself, what are you doing? Are they copying your behavior? Right? Are they borrowing your disbeliefs? Right? Are they mirroring your imperfections? Okay? Think about it for a second. Are they looking to be micromanagers too? Right? That's the thing. An entrepreneur with no limits, guys, will have a business with no boundaries. A leader with limits will have a group that will be looking for another leader in a company sooner than later. You guys have seen it over and over and over again. This industry is it's like a revolving door, right? If a person's not making any money here with you, they're going to go find, another place to go make some money with. They'll go find a better leader in a lesser company. They'll go find a better leader in a opportunity that won't pay them as much, right? But at least they're going to get the support and the service that they need, and that's what they're looking for. At this time, guys, I'm going to say people are looking for leadership because they don't have the answers and the ability to lead themselves. Do you focus on the obstacles or how big your goals are, or do you focus on the assignment, right? Are you at least willing to do the work in the field and on yourself? These are questions that you got to ask yourself. These are the questions when I looked at my first seven-figure opportunity in network marketing, and I was just coming in network marketing to get leadership and coaching. When I'm sitting down, I'm listening to my mentor. He's like, well, don't look at the number or how much volume it takes. Don't look at the number and how many people it takes. He says, just look at the work. He said, can you do the work? And that's the question. Can you do the work? The answer is yes. Guys, if you can do presentations, guys, put a one in the chat. Right? If you can point and read, put a one in the chat. If you could push power, push play, right, on a video presentation, record a pre-recorded presentation, put a one in the chat. Okay. If you can pick up the phone and invite somebody to look at an opportunity, put a one in the chat. If you can get on a millionaire mentorship call once a week, put a one in the chat. If you can get on a leadership call, with you and your leader once a week, put a one in the chat. If you can get on a presentation and have some people on that presentation, put a one in the chat. If you go to an event, a local event, when the local event is on you, put a one in the chat. Okay. And see, this is the thing. That's the work. See, that's a part of the work. And right, that's the thing. Are you willing to do that? Can you do that? If someone paid you seven figures, if your job right now, if you have a job, you work 40 hours a week right now, put a one in the chat. No, just put me. Just say me. Right? If you work 40 hours or more a week on a job, because we already know 90 to 95% of you have a job, right? And you cannot leave your place of employment till what? The job gets done. Correct or correct? Right? So most of you, if you do the hours, date back, go back to when you got your first job. You was ultra excited, uber excited. Have you did over $10,000 worth of employment hours? The answer for most of you will be yes. And if you've already done 10,000 hours of work for somebody, guys, you've already done enough work to become a millionaire. You were just on the wrong side of the money. Okay. So are you willing to do the work? You're already doing the work, right? You're just doing the work in a place that's not going to get you to seven figures. There are some questions, guys, that people are going to ask themselves, right? And so when I look at these questions, guys, these questions are very, very important. When a person is sitting down in a presentation, right, and they're listening to the speaker. Remember, I always tell you guys there are always two conversations going on. Okay, the speaker talking to you or the audience, and the audience talking to themselves. Okay, they're looking, at the speaker, and they're wondering if the speaker is qualified to speak. That's one. They're wondering if the speaker is qualified to lead. They're wondering if the speaker is telling the truth, right? And the funny part about it is, before you get on stage, some of you are wondering the same thing. Am I worthy to be on this platform? Am I worthy to be doing presentations? Am I in a position where I can lead that person to get their goals and dreams, accomplished? Am I, speaking from, integrity? Do I have the same pack I'm telling them to get? Okay? And do I even believe that the pack is the best pack for them? These are questions that you're asking yourself as a speaker, before you pick up the phone to invite somebody, before you actually, these are questions that you're asking yourself. But guess what? They're also asking themselves two major questions. One, can I do this? Okay. And two, how am I going to get my money back? Because that's the thing, guys. If you can't answer that question, if you can't answer those two questions in particular, I'm gonna just say right now, it's going to be a road to toe, right? That's the reason why you're not getting the money for the most part, because you haven't answered those questions in the actual presentation, in the conversation, in the dialogue. They either don't see, okay, that they can do it, or they don't see how they're going to get their money back. That's why they will not relinquish it. And you take it personal, right? So the other question that they ask themselves is this. Now, this is a question based more on their friends, their families, their colleagues. These are questions where a person asks themselves, can my friends do this? Can my circle afford this? Is the company solid, been around, doing great things? Is the service worth it? And does the service work? Right? And they're asking themselves these questions based on everybody else. Like, these are questions they're asking. So when you look at the company's job is to do what? Provide the service and the products. That's one. Pay and pay on time, right? That's two. And three, provide the system and resources that the field needs to actually get the job done. And then there's a fourth piece of that puzzle, right? And that's you, right? 25% of that 100% pie is you. Or are you going to do your part? right? Are you going to make that person's decision to join you a really, really good decision? Even if it's a bad decision at the time, some of you guys, if somebody joined you today, it'd be a bad decision. I'm just saying, hey, when they joined me when I first got started, Dr. Kenneth, guess what? It was a bad decision, right? Because I didn't know what I was doing, right? All I knew was I was here to recruit some people. I was excited about what was going on, and I couldn't lead a person in silent prayer. So, me leading you, right, at this point, I mean, at this point, it's fine, but at that point, it's not, right? And so, I do know this that I was willing to go out there and learn and get better so I can be a better leader for that individual. That's the thing. So, when you look at how to get my money back, that's simple. That's easy, right? But what if there's a way, for you to help your new partner recoup their business capital? One, two, double their investment. Three, eliminate their monthly overhead. Four, create some residual income. Five, rank advance. And six, get a free ride at their Build Trading Academy, right? All in their first 7 days. And that's not mentioning the travel perks and benefits, right? How much more posture would you have while presenting your opportunity? How much more belief? How much more conviction? How much more commitment? How much more activity could you get out of you if you knew for a fact that all that was possible, right? Because remember, confused people do absolutely nothing. If you're confused, and you're not going to do a lot of presentations at all. And if they're confused, they're not going to get started with you at all. This is a business transaction, guys, not a personal transaction. If a person called me, like I have this thing now where, I had somebody reach out to me the other day, and I said, well, at this time, that's not my priority. It was something that they wanted me to do for them, and I had to let them know, right now, at this time, that's not my priority. When my sons ask me for something, or ask me to do something, and I got to do something business wise for the company or whatever, right? For my goals, my dreams, and for them. Hey, son, right now, that's not my priority. We'll get back to that. We'll catch up with that. Learn how to say that's not my priority. By the way, that's a golden nugget. That's the way for you to say no with respect and posture. Right? That's not my priority. Okay. But how many people would you tell about this opportunity if you knew you can actually get all that done for a person in 7 days, even if it took you 30 days? Okay. Some people are going to come in here, guys. They'll get it done in a day. All of that, what I just put out there, all of that will be done in a day. 48 hours, 72 hours, 3 days. Okay. And these are the people who you want to attract, but you can't attract those type of people as disbelievers, right? You can't attract those type of people as underachievers and people who are not out there in the field running as if, okay? You got to be building as if right now. You got to build as if you believe right now. Even if you don't believe, you got to build yourself into the belief. How many of you know the more presentations you do and the more you learn from each presentation, the more you start to believe? How much marketing and advertising would you be willing to do? Now, I'm just because now, if you know this is happening, you know, how much money are you willing to invest in yourself, invest in your business? How much money would you invest in AI? Or how much money would you invest in leads? I'm just not telling you to go do none of this stuff. I'm just asking you, how much more motivated, right? Would you be willing to do, all these things if you knew those things, right? Recouping a person's, and I'm gonna stay on the side for a second because I need you guys to get this in your spirit. Recouping a person's business outlay in the first 7 days, week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, doubling their investment, right? Eliminating their monthly overhead. So now a person's running the company for free in the black, creating some residual income, right? Rank advancing, getting a free ride, or getting a free education for Bill, right? While they're actually trading, learning how to trade. And they get the perks of it. It's all about the offering an undeniable value proposition. That's what this is all about, guys. That's what when you look at this, I want to make sure you guys pay good close here. Because this right here is when they redid and don't get me wrong, the superstar bonus was always a great idea. Okay. But what happens is just like 7 Up, how many of you guys know that 7 Up, the first name of the company was 1 Up? They got it wrong. Went back to the drawing board. Then it was 2 Up. Then it was 3 Up. Then it was 4 Up. right? Kept on changing the formula, 5 up, 6 up, and then they got it right, and it was 7 up. And next thing you know, the only name you've ever known is 7 up. You don't know about the first 6 mistakes that they made. Okay. And so companies, great companies evolve, great companies adjust, great companies make changes, right? And one of the changes that they made, okay, was, giving you two different options when it came to the superstar bonus. Okay. When JC went back, it used to be 5 points. Now it's 3 points and two recruits, right? That's one thing. But the thing I'm focused on, right, the builder side of it, where all you have to do is recruit. Okay. And so when you actually get 4, build and above, and you help just 2 of them, right? Mr. Pacheco went over this on Saturday. I went over this on Thursday. It felt like Saturday, but he went over this on Thursday, right? You get 4, help 2 of them get 2, and you qualified for $500, right? That's a fast start bonus. And right now, guys, if you got started at 199 right here, and you completed that just by getting the bonus alone, you've done better than doubling it. You've got your money back and a bonus, right? So 199, 199. Because remember, when you get started, people are going to ask you what package did you get started at? And they're going to base their decision based on you. Okay. And so for me, that's why even though I can't trade, guess what? I got 999 pack, and guess what that 999 pack is considered? Marketing and advertising. That's my marketing and advertising budget. My 199 a month is my marketing and advertising budget. Okay. And I
Mhm.
am getting in and I'm participating at the highest level. Okay. And I'm telling you guys, get in where your money says you got to get in at. If it's at 199, get in at the 199. If it's at 499, get at the 499. If it says 999, don't play with it. Don't run cheap business. Okay. When you look at people who are on their way to 7 figures, they don't skimp. They invest whatever they need to invest to get the job done. But in this example, like Greek like, and 199 is your pack. And guess what? You got 4 people got started. 199, 199, 199. Same way as you did. Guess what you did? You made 20, 20, 20, and 20. Made $80. All right. And guess what? You got 1 point each. Because remember, 6 on the left and 6 on the right is what? Build a 250, right? So you got two on the left and 2 on the right here. So now you keep going. And guess what? Now you have 199, 199. You're going to help your people get there too. You're going to help at least 2 of them get there too. And now guess what? You don't make any money because you're outside of the code. You're not a builder 250 yet. So you make 0, 0, 0, 0. But you still get 2 points. 2 points there, 2 points there. That's 4 on the left, 4 on the right. It's not 6 yet, right? And so in this example, I'm only going to teach you to the point. You can see, but you can do the math. All right, you help those other 2 get 2, and you got build a 250. But I'm just going to stick right here because this is what I want to make sure I'm teaching you guys from today. Because this is the stuff that used to make us a fortune. It wasn't the complicated stuff. It wasn't the big grandiose speaking and all the heavy words that were so profound that had people going ooh and ah. It was this. The security comes in the simplicity. If it's not duplicatable, you shouldn't be doing it. If you're the only person who can make a fortune, then I'm not gonna say shame on you, but man, you don't say you want to help people if that's the case. 199, guys. The basic core pack, right? The core basic pack, $500 superstar bonus because you achieved it, $80 for direct commission. And guess what? Savings is what? The new earnings. So that $99 a month that you were going to pay, for your monthly membership, guess what? It went away. That's income. Anytime you have money that's getting ready to leave out of your household and go into somebody else's household, somebody else's bank account as income to them, when it stays in your house, guys, it's income to you. Learn that from an extremely wealthy person. Okay. When they say wealthy people don't spend a lot of money, they don't pay full price for anything, they are not lying. Right? That's a wealth philosophy. But if you do the math, that's $680 your gross total. Okay. And you look over here, $480 net total. That means that after you recoup your initial investment, that's $480. Okay. That's $480. So it's not like a check. For those of you who have a job, you have your check, and that check says it says you have the gross amount and you have the net amount. And for some of you, how many of you agree that sometimes that net looks pretty gross, right? Not here, right? This is the net looks amazing, right? And so again, right here, where we at, right here, right now, pay attention to what's going on. You made your money back. You doubled your investment. Okay. You have no monthly overhead. Okay. You got a free ride right now to get on live trainings and live trading, and learn from the best of the best, right? These are things that you have right now that you've already achieved right now. And then when you do the 499 pack, okay, I'm not going to ask you who's all on this pack because that's I'm not trying to single anybody out. But 499, that's the elite pack, right? So again, people are going to do what you do in this example. So 499 times four is $100 times four. So that's what, 400 bucks you've already made. Now you get 1.5 points over here, 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, 1.5. So right now you have 3 points on the left, you have 3 points on the right. Okay. How many points does it take? Guys, tell me, how many points does it take for you to become a Builder 250? How many points does it take on the left and on the right? There you go. 6 and 6. Okay, there you go. And so right now you have 3 and 3. Well, guess what? You have two other people who you're going to help get started. Help them get their people started. So you got two other people. You got two other people who got there too. 499, 499, and you have 0, 0, 0, 0. Guess why? Because you're not in the coded bonus. And for those of you who didn't get a chance to watch that coded bonus training that the president J.C. Rangel did a couple of Thursdays ago, this is going to incentivize you to go back and watch it. Okay? Because again, I tell people all the time, if you're not making the money that you want to make, guys, if you're not making a lot of money, it's because you don't know how to count. In this industry, in this company in particular, at this moment in particular, is because you don't know how to do the compensation math. Right? Now, when they get started, even though you don't get coded bonuses because you are not at Builder 250 at that time, right? You still get 1.5 points, 1.5 points on the left. That gives you what? 6 points. 1.5 additional points, 1.5 additional points on the right. Okay. Guess what? 6 points on the right. So now you're in the money. So now you're Builder 250. But when you look at how that breaks down, $500 for superstar bonus, $400 for direct commissions, $100 times four. Now $250 that you've earned, okay, for the Builder 250. Okay, $150 a month that you actually have because now you get four, you pay no more, right? Guess what? If you're not paying it, it's staying as income. Okay, but you get no coded bonuses. That's $1,300 when it comes to the gross total. You subtract your $500 initial, enrollment capital, guys. Out of that is $800 profit. $800 profit. Again, you doubled your outlay, basically. You got some residual income coming in now, right? You got a free ride coming. You literally are putting yourself in a position where, guys, you really don't have to worry about a whole lot except for doing it again. Okay. Now, 9.99. People who are on the Premier Pack, and I know some of you guys saying Premier Pack, yeah. It's been changed from Apex to Premier, right? So Premier Pack, $999. And I put the 999.99 because again, I know some of you guys you get loans and stuff like that. I don't want you to go get a loan that says 999, right? But you'll see in the circles we're not putting all them nines in there, right? But I want to make sure you guys understand exactly what the cost is. Now, again, people are going to do exactly what they see you do. Okay. So in this example here, and I'm gonna tell you, when you do this, every time you do a presentation, because always ask, how was your enrollment numbers and percentages a lot higher than most people's? And you, not just for you, but you and your team. It's because after every presentation, because some people think their presentation is so amazing that people should just fall into business. Remember, I told you the two questions, right? That they asked, that was the most important questions of all. Who's going to help me? Like, who's going to be my support? Who's going to help me? And two, how do I get my money back? We would do this, and we had three packages, right? We had the $200 package, $500 package, and we had a $1,200 package. Okay. I would always do it from the $1,200 package. I will never do there was no need to do it from the $500 package or the $200 package because everybody either got started at the 999 or they worked their way up to it. They upgraded their way up to it. So I never did it from any of the other packages, right? I actually did it from where I know a person wanted to be, where they were going to maximize the earning potential and do what was best for their families. Okay. And so if we can mute that line out for me, I appreciate it. We got some feedback coming in. But 999, 999, 999, 999 is $200 per person. Okay. That is, it just gets gooder, as we say here in Texas, right? That's 800 bucks, right? Guess what? Points also go up. Okay. Last month we had people who upgraded and they had people in the team who upgraded who hit build a 250, build a 700, build a 1500, and they didn't even know it, right? Because when these packs hit the system, those points hit the system as well. And they were used to counting individuals because all they had was the 199 pack that only gave them 1 point. Now they have this one that gives them three, right? And so now it's like this is three times, the amount they would get for the normal pack. So those points, you got six on the left, six on the right. Guess what you are? Builder 250. Okay. And I'm taking this at a pace where you can receive this and then you can consume this. And I just want to make sure you get it. I want to make sure I know it's in Facebook. I know you can go and watch it over and over again, but it's nothing like getting it right the first time while you're here with me. That's why you should still be texting people and letting people know that we are on here, we're hot, we're live. But that's Builder 250 right there. Six on the left, six on the right. You help two on one on each side, right? Get 250. I'm sorry, get two partners each. And now you get coded bonuses. All right. So in a coded bonus, when you're at Builder 250, right? If you sponsor somebody yourself at this point going forward, you make $280. If someone in your that's not a leader, they make they do a sale at this premier pack level, they make the 200 and you make the 80. Okay. So 80 times four is $320. And guess what? Six more points. So you got 12 on the left, 12 on the right. And just kind of like as a little nugget, a little caveat, a little bonus. If you help those other two people in the middle, the one in the middle on the left and one in the middle on the right, just get two people. Or if you help those two that you help get two, help them go ahead and get their four so they don't have to pay any more. At 999, that puts you at 18 on the left and 18 on the right. That puts you at Builder 700. Okay. So you help those same two people get four instead of two. They got their four. 999, 999, all across the board. That's Builder 1800. I'm sorry, I build a 700 and $700 a month residual, right? Now, $500 superstar bonus, $800 direct commissions, $250, builder, 250. 199 a month that you would normally pay guys, that goes away because you have four 999s. You got four premieres. That's 200 bucks. Coded bonus 320. Guys, you made $2,070, right? 1,000 of that was what you actually invested. That was your capital to get started and enroll in the program. That was $1,000, guys. Now you got 1,070, right? After you recruit your 1,000. Where are they doing this at? Like what? How simple is this? Okay, and I'm gonna double back and give you guys some other stuff in just a second, but this is very, very important. So when you look at it and you put everything back into perspective, guys, when you get started, you're literally put yourself in a cycle where you are now creating a story. Right? And the story is very, very important because the story is what you're going to make your fortune off of. Stories are always going to be what you made your fortunes off of, guys. Stories give people social proof. Okay. And so when you look at, the story, imagine being able to tell a person, whether it's on this one, whether it's on this one, okay, or whether it's on this one. When people ask you, hey, Barb, does it work? And he said, I don't know if it works for everybody else, but My first 7 days, my first 2 weeks, or my first 30 days, whatever, I didn't just make my money back. Okay. I doubled my money. I also qualified for residual income the very next month. Okay. I actually I have no, no tuition at this point because all my tuition is a free ride now because I've eliminated that. Okay. I'm building a community of traders who I'm actually earning income with now at this point in time. And oh, by the way, I get some deep discounts on travel now because I qualify for it. So I don't know if it works for everybody else, but that's how it's working for me. Okay. So if you're someone who's been in longer than 30 days, okay, this is your opportunity. Go out there and sponsor in bunches. Go out there and put a bunch of people in business, as many people in business as possible, because what you're looking for the one or the two, right? If go out there, put about 6, 7 people in business right away, you might find one or two that'll go out there and get to right away. And that qualifies, that puts you in a structure, right? That puts you in a structure. Now, you can't get the superstar bonus because you've been in for longer than 30 days, but it gives you the structure to find one or two that'll go and get the superstar bonus. And you find one on the left and one on the right to do it. I'm just telling you right now, amazing things happen. This is how you turn around and micro launch your business. Okay. 99% of the people who join network marketing companies aren't launchable, but you've all heard of people launching somebody's business. You've all been in companies where you see somebody like, you know, you know, a Fabian, come into a company or someone like a Julio Aquino or someone like, Jay or Matt, and just somebody who's coming in, they got a lot of influence, and all of a sudden they just run. They just put as many people in as possible. They're breaking all the records. That person has influence. Okay, that person has an organization that they're bringing from another group. That person has a huge work ethic, right? Whatever it is, whatever makes that person special, it makes that person a 3%er. And 99, 97, 95 to 97% of the people in your organization or who comes in these companies are not that guy or that gal, right? So you have to create micro launches in your groups, right? You got to know what your ratio is. Okay. You're not going to put 200, 300 people in like a Michelle, who Fabian brought in from Mexico. You're not going to be able to do numbers that match their numbers, right? But what you can do is you can micro launch your group. You can build from where you are. And guess what? Every time you hit some micro launches and you get it right, you go out there and sponsor 7 or 8 people, 9, 10 people in 30 day window because you made a commitment because now you have something that you can offer them, offer the masses, and they can get excited about it. And they know they're not just working with you, they're working with someone who has a system, someone who has leadership, and this is first movers advantage, and they can come in with you. You put 8 to 10 people in business, and you find one person on the left, one person on the right. And I'm gonna tell you, though, and that'll go in here and hit the superstar bonus. Yeah, you're looking at breaking ranks, not just for them, you're looking at breaking ranks for yourself. And every time you go out there and do that, and you continue to do that, what you're now doing is you're building your resume. Okay. So I'll give you an example. If you were, let's say you were in you in Jay's team, or you in Julio's team, right? Or you in Fabian's team, and they do 100% of your presentations, right? That means that now you and whoever you brought in that they work with, you are a part, and they are a part of their resumes, which means that you don't get credit, for what those individuals become. Okay, I'm saying use the system, and if you're not that guy, that gal, don't get in the way of somebody's money, right? Watch and learn while that person is launching that individual, right? And bring people to every one of those videos, every one of those presentations, every one of those Zooms, every one of those home meetings, whatever it is that they're doing. Bring somebody. Don't come empty. Don't come empty seated. Just bring somebody to fill a seat or two. Throw somebody in the car. Have them come with you. It don't matter if someone is launching around you and you're not launchable. You don't have the influence. You don't have the resources. Learn how to launch. Learn the process. Learn the work. Remember, are you willing to do the work? That's it. This doesn't look like hard work for anybody. Right? So The micro launches, what ends up happening is everybody you micro launch, guys, that you help get a superstar bonus, that's one heck of a story for each one of those people you work. Now, each one of those individuals, they haven't become builder 8,000s, but each one of those stories will get you to builder 8,000 and eventually get them there as well. Because the more and more you tell those stories on top of what you can do for those individuals, the faster people will join you, the faster people will believe in you, the faster people will allow you to lead them. And next thing you know, guys, what's what happens? Next thing you know, you have people who will fall in your group who can actually launch. And you've done so many micro launches, guys, and you've gotten so good at doing presentations that now you actually can help them launch their business, even if you're not the person. Let's say JC has to do the launch call or Mr. Pacheco has to do the launch call, right? If Even if they have to do the launch call, guess what? They're not going to be there the whole time. They're not going to build your business for you, right? So guess what? They're going to, edify you and recognize you and let people know that you've been building your business from scratch. You've been building your business organically. You've been becoming the prototype that we want everybody in the company to become. So I want you to follow Roxy's lead because Roxy knows exactly what she's doing. Okay. I want you to follow Donnie's lead. I want you to follow, Dr. Arlene's lead. I want you to follow, Erica's lead. I want you to follow Angel's lead. I want you to follow, whoever. If we're highlighting you, it's because you've done this thing right. If you come out here and you micro launch your businesses, guys, and bring people in business and get them the superstar bonuses, I'm telling you, you will have an explosive business. You will show up at the January event. And speaking of the January event, guys, for those of you who came to the event last October, last year, right, and you bought a ticket for the next event, this is the next event. Okay, you now get a chance to use that ticket that you purchased, for this event. If you want to wait for the next event and pay for this one, you can, but the choice is yours. I will highly suggest if you're going to be there, use it for this event. Okay, so I'm just getting just redeemable, right? Want to give you that, but when you look at these numbers, guys, these numbers are amazing. This right here, this superstar bonus is genius. JC and whoever else, if it was JC by itself, man, great job, right? But I can just say right now, when I saw this, when I was in California, my life lit up, right? That I saw what I needed, the finishing touches. As long as the company delivers everything they're supposed to deliver and they pay people when they're supposed to be paying people, everything is right with the system and back office and stuff, there's nobody who can stop you guys from going out there and blueprinting the income that you want to make, designing the income that you want to earn, right? Building the group that you want to build. As you can look at that chart at this point and say, man, how many people do I need to micro launch to get to that goal? How many people do I need to have micro launching with me, presenting with me, building with me to get to these goals over the next 12 months, over the next 24 months? I'm going to say the state of the economy, it's not looking like it's the best, right? You cannot bank on that anyway, right? The only thing you can bank on is what you build to a certain extent, right? But put yourself in a position, guys, where right now you are in an ideal situation, right? You can come in here, and as you can see with these on this chart here, guys, you can blueprint any type of income that you want to earn. You can do the hard work, you can do the easy work. So I'm gonna ask you a question. So when you look at the difference between a three-figure decision and a four-figure decision, guys, like an investment, is belief, right? The difference between 199, 499, and 999, which is 999 is a four-figure decision. That's $1,000. The difference between those decisions, builder, elite, to APEC, to build from builder, which is I need to change that, to basic, from core basic to elite to premier, okay, is belief. If Roxy is not in the business, or let's say, a matter of fact, I have somebody who's looking at the business right now. She's not on here right now, but a young lady out of California, she's got a little trading background and she's looking for a new trading home, right? If I have a conversation with her, I know she just took a job. She don't want to be on that job. I know she's done network marketing before, but network marketing is not going to be her priority. Priority is going to be trading. And when she gets the things done and she sees that this thing works, then she'll start introducing people to the company. What I'm going to show her is how to unlock all of the money in the compensation plan, not some of it. I'm going to show her how to get to the biggest bag in the shortest period of time because I know that's what's going to get her off of her job. Okay. And let me ask you guys a question, and I want you guys to answer. If she's got she's trying to fire a boss, what package is going to give her the ability to get there faster? The core basic, elite, or the premier? I'm asking y'all. All right. There you go. Premier, 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 premier. Yeah. Because again, when you look at this chart, guys, I'm going to make sure that I show her the premier first because that's the one that does what she needs to get done. Now, if she can't afford the premier, that's on her. Then she can take the elite. Okay. If she can't afford the elite, then she can take the core basic. I'm not starting from the bottom. I'm starting from the top. I'm starting from her answer, her solution, right? And then if she wants to work her way down, that's on her. I'm not going to force her, press her. I am going to educate her on the benefits, which is my job of the premier. What all she gets and what type of impact it's going to have when she starts to actually build. Okay. It takes the same amount of time, guys. I want you guys to get this. It takes the same amount of time to get a core basics pack, $199, as it does to get a premier pack, $999. It takes the same amount of time, it takes the same amount of presentation time, right? It takes the same amount of invite time, it takes the same amount of three-way time, it takes the same amount of follow-up time, it takes the same amount, of bam fam time, booking a meeting to another meeting. It takes the same amount of time. The only difference is, do you believe that that's the best pack for that person? It's not about your wallet. It's not about, how much money you can make on the deal. Never once did I talk about how much money that I'm making off of her getting started. I am putting her in a position where she can get to her goals and her dreams faster. So when you look at these charts, right, and you see how these charts are broken down, 1,000, or no, matter of fact, why she got that one first? Let me see here. Okay, so this one right here was supposed to be first, but it's all good. Y'all seen them all. Y'all haven't seen these before, right? 6 and 6, 12 people versus 8 people, 4 and 4 versus 4 people, 2 and 2. I'm not going to ask you which one is easier. It's easier to get 4 people than it is to get 12. It's easier to get 12 people than it is to get 36. It's easier to get 28 than it is to get 80. Okay. You just got to believe that, again, that pack is the best pack for those individuals. You got to make the pack solve a problem. The problem is most of the people who are in network marketing, they're counting the money that they're going to make from the packs. That's why they can't articulate the solution that the company brings to that person's life. Because remember, you use this business to solve problems in people's lives. You don't use the people to solve problems in yours. Okay? 80 and 80, that's 160 people versus 480 people. That's a lot less work. That's a lot less presentation. If it took you, let's say if it took you 30 minutes to do a presentation on Zoom for 160 people per person, right? That's 80 hours. Let me help you do some good math, right? For that same Builder 8,000, 240 on the left, 240 on the right. If it took you 30 minutes to do a presentation on Zoom per person, now it's 240 hours. 240 hours versus 80 hours for the same result, basically for the same result. That's not working smarter, that's working harder. Does this make sense to anybody? So when you look at like when I'm and so why is he doing this on a Millionaire Mentorship call? Because when you look at compensation plans, most people don't understand compensation plans. Most people don't understand how to design them. Most people don't understand what they're supposed to do because compensation plans dictate and drives behavior, right? It gets a person to work in the part of the company's compensation plan that you want them to work in. Wherever you're paying the most money at, that's where most of the people are going to work at. Or wherever it's easier to make the money, that's where most people are going to work at. Where the biggest bonus is at, that's where you'll find the most people, right? If there's no money in it and it's long-term type stuff, you won't find anybody building it. How many of you clocked in, and say, you know what, I'll work 1 hour for 8 hours? Anybody up for that? I work 1 hour for 8 hours. I'm gonna work 1 hour, but I'm gonna get paid 8 hours. Anybody up for that? Right? That's me, right there. But you have people say, you know what, I'm gonna work 8 hours and I'm gonna get paid 1 hour. That's the masses. That's the people who are focusing on the 199. And this is the thing. Pay attention to this. Most of you who don't have money, that's why you can't ask people for it. You think everybody is on hard times. You think everybody lack resources. You think everybody, is in a position where they're pinched for money. You don't think people can come up with money, right? Because that's your situation. And you're now putting your situation on other people, basically putting a lid. Remember, I talked about that lid, those limits, that cap. Okay. You are now projecting your poverty on somebody else's. I need you guys to think bigger, faster, more expansive, more explosive, right? But think about that. I mean, I just this 167 hours of presentations versus 500 hours of presentations to make $15,000 a month residual income. Same amount of money coming in, right? Same result. It's just, man, 167 hours of presentations versus 500 hours of presentation. That's a lot. That's a lot of hours. I don't even know what that looks like. Like it's 4 months. I'm sorry, it's 40, 40, 40, 40. That's 1 month in premier money. And that's 3 months worth of presentations in, core basics money, 199 money. So it takes you, see how much longer it takes you? Millionaires say, you know what, if I can make $100,000 in a year, right? I just got to figure out how much work that I did in that year, right? And just do all of that work in 1 month. And for those of you who have a cap on your thinking, you're saying you can't do that. And 3% of people on here are saying yes, you can. Because when you take the amount of work that's done in a year to make $100,000 and you do that same work in 30 days, you're not the one doing the work by yourself. You're leveraging the efforts and resources of other people. Remember, Robert Kiyosaki, one of the simplest books that have ever been written, that stayed on the New York bestsellers list forever. Might be still up there, right? OPM, other people's money. OPE, other people's efforts. OPT, other people's time. Okay. It's This is what the people who've mastered money has been able to do and master forever. This is how they build networks. And when you get to this point, now you go out there and say, you know what? I can now crowdfund any of my endeavors that I want to crowdfund. I can go now and buy my son's, a storage unit, with doors on it, right? With not a lot of obligations and problems, and have that producing residual income, recurring income for them even after my demise. But I'm going to do that from the money that I generate from this compensation plan. What are your goals? What are your dreams when it comes to this, right? You've seen the presentation numbers. I mean, you see the residual numbers. Just put them up there right there. Use something that you're used to seeing, how you used to seeing them, right? This is still the number one thing that got me. This is the thing that made me sign up. It wasn't solar. I just know what work I did in my previous companies, how many people we put in our previous companies, and we didn't get paid a fraction. Like we talking about pennies on a dollar, and I'm grateful for what we earned. God, no, I'm not complaining, right? But I'm saying if I can do this, and over 200,000 people come through that organization, not at one time, over time, over a 24-year time period. Okay, 120,000 people, and at one point in time, 1.2 million dollars in volume per month. in sales volume in 30 countries, right? 30 to 35 people, 33 to 35 people coming into business a day in my group, $70,000 a month at its peak, right? At its peak. 36,000 people get you 500,000. And guess what? Those people spending 250, it's 450 on coffee, some even more. But on average, 200 to $450 a month. We have people on, just 199 a month, 199 a month, and 299, and 149, 199 a month. Right? These numbers are totally different, guys. Some of you guys, if this is your first, network marketing company, guys, or relationship marketing company, whatever you want to call it, put me in the chat real quick. I want to know who I'm talking to real quick. I need to see something real quick because I want to make sure I bless you. If this is your first company, put me in the chat. Chris Mack, Jared, okay. Mark, Jenny, okay. Dr. Felicia, okay. I want to share some with y'all, okay. Ignace, man, I'm just telling you this. I want to share some with y'all because as we are comprised today, ask me that 2 years ago, it wouldn't be that. As we are comprised today as a company, as we have evolved today as a company, as we have arrived to this point in this position, as we are today as a company, based on what we offer, what we pay, and what we have, with the capabilities of doing right now, you have been born with a silver spoon in your mouth. You don't know what it's like to be poor in direct sales network marketing. Like you don't know what it's like to not be able to provide for you and your team and put your team in a position to win in network marketing. Because at this point in time, you can do that. So don't blow this moment. Okay. Don't take this moment for granted. Right now, you're first at the table, but you will not eat if you don't go do what's required. That's simple. Simplicity gets you to seven figures, not complexity. That simple superstar bonus, right? That simple superstar bonus can get you to seven figures. As a matter of fact, you know what we do, right? At this point in time, we're getting ready to wrap up, and you go ahead and pull your cell phones out real quick here because I'm going to give you the suggested reading list, but I'm going to tell you while we're doing that, just type, to the chat and WhatsApp. Simplicity will get me seven figures. Simplicity will get me seven figures. WhatsApp to the chat. Let everybody know. This to tell everybody who they missed something that they probably should have been on here for. But mark my words, as comprised, as designed, guys, and all we're gonna do is get better with what we have to offer. Gonna make Omni better, right? Gonna make sure that our trading program is just off the charts. Gonna make sure people get all the PDFs. We're gonna make sure people get all of the access to videos. We're gonna make sure that everything works, right? As comprised. You will see people who are not even here right now, who are coming, who will make seven figures in their first year with this compensation plan. Okay. Don't worry about if it's you or not. Just build towards your goals. If you wake up one day as a seven-figure earner, because you start off as a goal to be a $50,000 a year earner or $50,000 a month earner, and you wake up as a seven-figure earner one day, that's fantastic. Okay. But I'm just telling you what I know is going to happen based on the simplicity of that superstar bonus. Network marketing, guys, for years. JC will tell you this. Winston will tell you this. Okay. Checo will tell you this. Dan will tell you this. Julio, Juan, all these guys will tell you this. Fabian will tell you this. Network marketing for years has been a situation where you have the elite speakers and trainers complicate things intentionally. Right. So it make them sound like they're experts and make them sound profound and make them sound like you can't do it without them. So you follow them everywhere and you do exactly what they say in order for them to make money. Right. This is not something that you have to complicate. If you complicate this, you're costing yourself and people money. Make sure you go ahead and go through this process, master this process, guys. Go ahead and make sure you follow the system. Make sure you are sharing the stories. Make sure that you are putting people in front of what can actually happen. And I'll go back to that first screen in just a second, but this is what I would be reading right now if I was you. Okay. This is, and there are other things out there to read. Like you add whatever it is that you want, to your reading list. But when it comes to a person who's micro launching and you're learning how to lead, you know, the people who are in your success team, people who are cross line, and even people who are your senior partners, 360-Degree Leader by John C. Maxwell is the best book out there. Hands down. Hands down. There's nothing out there better than that. Got the book, got the audio, and I got the workbook. Uh, the Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz. Guys, the bigger you get people to think about the life they want to live, the less fear you'll have to deal with when it comes to you presenting to them. They will become, your ally. They'll help you, right? Recruit them. They will tell you, hey, they'll, when I say they will make you, put you in a position where they're fighting for you to take their money, it's because, again, you got them thinking big. You got them seeing the vision, their vision. Okay. And you're giving them a resolution, in a way to get in a vehicle to get there. Okay. So when you look at the magic of thinking big, there's a part in that audio or book. You'll get to it reading or listening. I like to listen. Okay, because I like to move around. But he talks about, one of the number one car salesmen in the nation. Okay? And he talked about what he did to get there. Obviously, he didn't just, do affirmations. Because affirmations and faith without works is dead. It doesn't build up to anything. You just be a person who's extremely wise or extremely, knowledgeable. Let me say that. Uh, Fighting and frustrated with information constipation. But um, this guy recorded his voice, and his voice was his affirmations. Okay, everything that he wanted to be, all his goals and whatever it was, he recorded himself and he listened to himself every day. He would walk around if he wasn't working, if he wasn't doing whatever he needed to do at his job, he was listening to it. Okay. And so I actually I did that years ago. As a matter of fact, if you look up Samuel Bean affirmations, Samuel Bean, first, last name, affirmations, there's a video that is pretty entertaining as well. But that video, when I did that video, it was so much on there that I affirmed and things that I put this really decent music on there too. You like the music, but I listen to that all the time. I have my sons listening to it all the time, right? And they were youngins. But when I stopped listening to it, years passed, and I realized when I look back that so much of those things happened. So many of those things were accomplished, right? Because they were in my inner spirit and they were directing and guiding, me to do the things that I need to do for those things to come to fruition. Even if they were not in my conscious mind, they were in my subconscious mind and spirit, right? So that's the exercise that I challenge each and every last one of you guys to do. Listen to your voice, talk about your affirmations. Go listen to, the Sammy Bean affirmations. Then The Magic of Believing by Claude Bristol. You get now because you believe not, right? Where there's no belief, you will not realize the goals and dreams. Like there won't be any goals and dreams achieved. Like there won't be any activity. You'll quit on everything that you don't believe in, guys. But the magic of believing, same thing. Got the book, got the audio, right? I believe in listening first and then highlighting and going back and sitting down and expounding on it. Then you have the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. Okay. John C. Maxwell, the very first chapter, and there's the law of the lid. Okay. The very first chapter is the law of the lid. See if I can't get this thing up. Okay, there we go. When you look at the law of the lid, guys, again, we talked about it early on. Your teams may be suffering based on the lid that you imposed on them. Okay. But what if? Because this is true. This is actually, I just showed you how this happens. It's not what if it was possible. It's possible for you. The question is, will you go from possibility to probability? Because possibility means it's possible, but it's not going to happen because of certain situations and circumstances. You may be those circumstances, those situations and circumstances. You may be the person who's keeping it from possibility to probability. If it's a probability, it's a really good shot that it'll happen. A person who's making a decision in this situation, knowing that you now have a way to help people recoup their business capital, double their investment, eliminate their monthly overhead, create some residual income, rank advance, get a free ride through the Create Trading Academy, and still get all the travel perks and benefits. And I'm not even talking about selling and selling anything else that we have to offer in the network. Okay, so you're now armed to the teeth. But that one thing, if you learn this and you write this down, guys, take a screenshot of this. Take a picture of this. This should be in your daily dialogue. If not to somebody, to yourself, to your wife, to your husband, to your dog. You need to get so good at saying this that when you have a conversation with somebody of value, that this just comes out like it's natural, like you're breathing. I know. So this is what we have access to. This is what we're doing for people over here. We're helping people recoup their business capital, double their investment, eliminate their monthly overhead, create some residual income, rank advance, and then we're giving them a free ride. They're earning a free ride at the Trading Academy, and they're doing it within the first 7 days, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, or a month, 30 days, whatever it is. That's got to become your affirmation and conversation. Okay. So with that, guys, I mean, I really appreciate each and every last one of you guys. I know, um, if I'm not mistaken, uh, Mr. Pacheco is going to be doing the presentation tomorrow night at 5 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. When it comes to the new trading presentation, guys. So we're doing the new trading presentations on Tuesday nights, Wednesday nights, Thursday morning, Thursday afternoons, or Thursday mornings, and or Saturday mornings rather. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. Thursday nights will be the home essentials. Okay, so Tuesday nights will be the presentation for trading and travel. All right, and then Thursday nights will be home essentials. All right, so we have 3 events. Okay, every week, presentation events that you can invite people to when it comes to the trading and travel. Right, and we're still maintaining and holding fast when it comes to home essentials. We just want to make sure right now we're streamlining the process. We don't want to confuse people. You can actually focus on whatever it is that you want to focus on, guys, because this is still your business, right? You have full autonomy on what you focus on and what you actually promote. Okay. But as a company, right now, we're focusing, we're driving fast, we're driving hard, and we're killing it with trading. So, love you guys. Don't forget, I'm simplifying my way to 7 figures. Text it. Look forward to seeing it.